Hi, folks. This is Mr. Wallace, your driver education instructor or your child's driver education instructor. And I just want to go over uh, the parent supervised driving log with all of you. And so this is our Google Classroom here for Mount Markham for the summer. And it should look similar. All future uh, Google Classrooms will look quite similar to this and will include the parent supervised driving log for students. Okay. And your child can view this at any time. However, I'm also sharing your personal copy with you and your child, giving you editing rights to it. But they can, and I'm also sending a copy of the sample along to you as well. Okay. And right here in our Google Classroom is also a copy of the sample for everyone to view, right? In case for some reason you haven't received that email yet or something like that. So I'm going to just to make this a little bigger for us so we can see it a little better. So, New York State DMV has a litany of different rules uh, that where our log has to we have to adhere to all these rules that New York State DMV sets out for us. Um, I'm going to go through them and just like one by one as we look at the log. The rules are here in this like gray type of box. Okay, so first of all, our drive date has to correspond with the course itself, right? So for the summer, this is our course date. So I've included in your own personal logs. The drive dates in here, right? So we want to have our drive dates correspond with the course dates. And can we go? Can we extend beyond the course dates? Yes. Can we start logging drives before the course date? No. Okay. So please do stay within the course dates and please make every effort to complete the drive sessions by the end of the course date as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. This is all going to kind of make sense as we bring it together. Okay, our drive times cannot exceed 90 minutes per any one date. Okay, so and at the end of the program, I'm right here. At the end of the program, there must be a total of 24 hours minimum, with a minimum of 6 hours directly behind the wheel, right here. And then the other 18 is up to you. It can be an observation time or behind the wheel time. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does this mean, behind the wheel time and observation time? Well, put yourself into a driver education uh, car, right? So as if we were actually doing the drives ourselves. There would be me in the front passenger side, instructing one child at a time. So one child would be behind the wheel, receiving instruction, while the other three are in the back seat, paying attention and observing, right? So if we're only allowed to do 90 minutes a day, according to New York State DMV, that means that if we rotate it in equally, that gives each child around 22 minutes of behind the wheel instruction daily. Okay, with a total of 24 hours, uh, for the entire course. That means that your child in a driving class, right, with me, if we were behind the wheel, your child would get 6 hours of direct instruction behind the wheel, and then your child would get another 18 hours of instruction and observation time. Okay. And so we have in here a little drop down menu, and we ask that you, when you do put your data in, that you choose one of the increments by 15, okay, both for behind the wheel time and for observation time. If you do more than one drive a day, which is very typical, please just add up the minutes and just put them in appropriately. I cannot ask you to round up the numbers. So all I can do is ask you to round down the numbers. So I think it's quite important just to try to plan it for 15-minute increments when you're going out for your drives. Okay. Again, this little formula right here above is going to add up your time, and we have this little little thing right here that says cannot exceed 90 minutes. All right, let's go to our next part, which is our environment. So we have a drop down menu for the environment as well. So here's all our different environments: parking lots, residential streets, commercial roads, country roads, intermediate roads, and highways. Um, so we want beginner drivers to be working in the parking lot environment with no vehicles in the parking lot, an empty parking lot, right? Good time to find those is really from 5 a.m. to, and you can even start earlier than 5 a.m. if you like, except in New York City. Uh, so 5 a.m. to around 7, 8 a.m., especially on a weekend. They're usually empty. Uh, Also, like places of religious places like church parking lots, for example, they may be empty at various times during the normal day. That you can practice there as well. I think they would probably be quite nice to you and let you practice in there. Any adverse conditions, especially night driving, I recommend that you record them. New York State DMV does not require you to record any conditions. However, it's going to be a bit beneficial to you if you do record them. New York State DMV does require you to set goals and skills to practice, to review, to introduce during the drives. Okay, so please do. You know put down your goals and skills. They can be literally, you can decide right on the spot when you're driving, or they can be something that you pre-plan. Obviously, if you pre-plan, you and your child may get more out of the experience than if you kind of do it on the spot or on the fly. And this is why we gave you, and we're giving you some other resources as well, but this is one resource that we put into or embedded in the log for you to use as a resource to make goals and for your drives, right? So this does not need to be sent in. At one point way back, we did have our students parents fill this out and send it in. That's no longer the case. So you can use this as simply a reference for you at this point. And they have various skills and goals for you to set along with your teen as you are, kind of planning your drives out and where you're going. You can practice these different skills, in the vehicle. Okay. Some of the questions that I get are, can you repeat the goals and skills for multiple lessons? And the answer is absolutely yes, right? So we have repetition here, and we wanted to show you that indeed you could repeat these goals, as well as you can, if you never get into a highway or a country road, it's absolutely okay. It's going to look a little strange if every single drive that you do is going to be in the parking lot, but we can't say no on that. Okay, New York State DMV will have to accept that if all your environments are in the parking lot. We would say that it's going to be very challenging for New York State DMV to accept your log if it has the same goal for the entirety of the log. So we do ask that you do choose at least around 5 goals to master, and we do hope that that your child does work on more than just 5, but we can't say no. And then with our drive rating over here on the last column, New York State DMV does require you to provide a rating for each and every drive that you do. If you do multiple drives in the same day, give a rating for the entirety of the drives. Okay, combine them all together and assign a rating for it. Again, we have a drop-down menu that we would like you to choose from. Please don't just write in the number, but please choose from it. That way, our little formula at the bottom will give us a result. So, by the way, I'll bring you to that right now. So our little formulas at the bottom, they help us to just assign an overall score. In fact, you as a parent are assigning the overall score, and we're recording it for New York State DMV, right? So an 82%, and 65% is passing. Okay. Again, over on this side, we collect the information about how many hours you do behind the wheel. That would be the 6. And how many hours in observation time. That's the 18. And then the combined total, which is 24. Okay. So we have our formulas to record that, and to, again, these are the things that we need to submit. We need to submit both these numbers and this number to New York State DMV, as well as this number here at the bottom. These all need to be submitted. Once you're done with 24 hours, you do not need to record anymore. And we ask that you simply let us know by email. So we're asking parents to let me know, or let us know by email, that the log is ready for review, and we do ask that you do that at least a week before the end of the course, in order to get your child's MV 285 certificate of completion on time. I need around a week prior to the end of course to review your log, and also to inform you if there's any amending, any fixing, any more drives that you may have to do. We have a lot of people who, they make the mistake of thinking they can do, let's say, 90 minutes, because they have 90 minutes here and then 90 minutes here, for a total of 180 minutes. And then, I have to tell them, unfortunately, you're not at 24 hours. That's going to be accepted by New York State DMV. You're 90 minutes short. You have to go on at least another drive. So that happens quite a lot. So chances are there's going to be some little aspect of the log that may require some additional work on your part. This is just that complicated. Okay. Please don't forget to include your child's name, first name and last name at the top, uh, as well as their permit number. In fact, I'm going to change this right now, because we want our first name. We want a middle initial. If your child has a middle name, not we understand that not everyone does. Middle initial, and then last name. So and then at the very bottom, to validate this form, that you did, that you're certifying that you did do the drives with your child, we ask you to insert your name here by print. Again, you can print your name here if you want to sign it, and use one of the apps to sign your name. That's fine with me. However, printing your name here is good enough. And then, of course, your own email address down below it, and that certifies the log. Okay. Typically, we request that the log is finished by lesson 13. For our summer classes, because they go so darn quickly, we're extending that to lesson 14. As you may remember, lesson 16 is our last lesson of the course. So it doesn't give us too much time for me to inform you and your child, oh, look, you still need to do a little more work with the log. So do feel free to send it in as soon as possible. That would be in the first 16 days of the course, where you could send it in as soon as possible. All right. I think that's everything about the log. If you do have any questions, please feel free to just to email me and let me know. Some of you already have my telephone number, and I'm more than happy to give it to the rest of you. And please enjoy this experience with your child. I tell this to all my parents. Please make this a very fun and enjoyable experience. I do this with my own students when we go driving. We stop at their favorite ice cream places. We end drives at their favorite ice cream. Well, we end our drives at the school, but we'd go on drives to their favorite ice cream places. I let them show me, various places around their area where they live, that are nice and interesting to them. We go exploring different routes and roads and so on. This is one of your last times to really bond and with your with your child before they take off for college and become adults. So please do enjoy this time and cherish it. It won't be long until they're gone and out of the nest, so to speak. I know I miss those days immensely with my son, who's now 21, right, and doesn't live under my roof anymore. So that's the extent uh, of our presentation for this evening. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And that's it. Now I got to find out how to end this. Not there.